Today on the channel, we return to Star Wars The Vintage Collection with Count Dooku on Way I Got It Figured. What's up, figure fans? Way I Got It Figured back with another Star Wars The Vintage Collection review. It's been some time since I've covered some Star Wars, and I got this one. I couldn't wait to get it
The Way I Got It Figured
out to you guys. So this is Count Dooku, and it's his first time in the Star Wars Vintage Collection line. He's highly anticipated. There's only a few characters, major characters from the movies that haven't gotten into the Vintage Collection. I know there's another one, but I can't even remember who, because honestly, the one I was waiting for was Count Dooku. I guess it's probably more like there's some figures that need to be reissued that have been, and they haven't been for a long time. Count Dooku, though, has never been in the Vintage Collection. He's coming in finally at number 307, TVC 307, and I like the new packaging scheme where they've taken the old cross cell out and put back the blurbs. I like that. We're gonna get into it. I picked them up at GameStop yesterday, so this is kind of a quick turnaround video, but I'm very excited to get them. I had to move the schedule around a little bit to accommodate for them, and here he is. So Count Dooku is a former Jedi Master. He was the Jedi Master of Qui-Gon Jinn. He was trained partially by Yoda and another master, and he left the Order. He was a member of the Jedi Council. He left the Order. He's one of a very few number of Jedi who left the Order, and he fell in with Darth Sidious and became the Sith apprentice known as Darth Tyrannus. Obviously, you probably watched the movies, you probably know this. I like to talk about the characters. And Count Dooku, I do have a Count Dooku figure that is of a Vintage Collection quality. I can't remember what line he was from, but this is the first Count Dooku to get a vintage card back. Attack of the Clones. It's the first figure. This is great, and I'm very happy to get them. On the back, you got Count Dooku, sort of acting like he does in Attack of the Clones, although we have like the Clone Wars where you get to see a lot more of them. But this is from the movie. Count Dooku. Once a Jedi trained by Yoda, Count Dooku became disillusioned with the Jedi Order and thirsted for greater power, ultimately leaving the light side behind and becoming Darth Sidious' disciple, Darth Tyrannus. Like I said, he's VC 307 Vintage Collection. I really like the new packaging. I really like that now they have at least something to talk about the character. I've always enjoyed that. We're going to get Count Dooku out and see what we can see. We've got Count Dooku out of the packaging with his accessories here. He comes with 3 accessories, plus his cape. And the guy looks great. He looks better out of the package than he did in. Can't wait to go over them. So first I'll start with the accessories. So he comes with 1 lightning hand. That's the right hand. It's actually identical to the hand that he uses in the portrait in the pill box on the box, right hand. It's identical to the Emperor's lightning bolts. You have his unlit lightsaber. And it does have a peg to peg into his belt. We'll see where that goes in a bit. And then, of course, you have his lit lightsaber. So in Attack of the Clones and in Revenge of the Sith, also episodes 2 and 3 as they are known, Count Dooku was played by the late great Christopher Lee, and the portrait is impeccable. Look at this. This is pretty cool. It's a really nice portrait of Christopher Lee as Count Dooku. And his name, of course, is a play on kind of Count Dracula, because Christopher Lee famously played Count Dracula in several movies. I think he also played Van Helsing a couple of times too, but he was known for playing Count Dracula in the Hammer films. And this is a great portrait. This is awesome. I like what they did with the cape, with the kind of chain that holds it together. And as you can see, it kind of flows very nicely. You can make it, it's not wired or anything, but there's a stiffness to it that allows you to kind of pose it. That's for Dooku himself. It's pretty well articulated. And one of the interesting things that I noted about him is, of course, his hand comes off. This is the right hand, and you can switch this hand out for the lightning bolt, just as he is on the package. That looks awesome. But for another surprise, you can even remove the left hand. So if you have the Emperor laying around, you can take the lightning bolt from him and put it on both hands, which you didn't really see him do in the movie, but there's no reason to assume he couldn't. Like I said, he poses pretty well. His tunic doesn't really stop him from, doing a kick or going back. And of course, he's got ankle and knee articulation. Yeah, it looks great. This figure is awesome. I really like it. And they have been making really great Star Wars The Vintage Collection figures of late. I'm going to give old Count Dooku his hand back. And there's the post for his lightsaber. See how well it goes in there. Always the tricky part. But goes in well enough. So here he is with his lightsaber. He looks great. He's very impressive. Very impressive. Very happy with this. Of course, his lightsaber is very unique. He uses a Jedi lightsaber form known as Makashi. It's sort of like a fencing style, as you saw in the movies. And he's a very, very skilled lightsaber duelist. And the figure looks great. I mean, it's everything I hoped it would be. I'm very happy to have it. All right, I'm gonna stop gushing over it. Move on to final thoughts. Final thoughts on Star Wars: The Vintage Collection VC307 Count Dooku. You know, you wait around for characters, and a lot of times, I don't want to say they're disappointing, but they're like okay. But usually they do some really great figures somewhere in there in the year. You get something great from the vintage collection every year, year in and year out. And Count Dooku is definitely that. He's long awaited. If you're like only a casual of vintage collection, you might not know this, but the real TVC heads, we've been waiting for Count Dooku for a really long time. He's here. He seems to be using his own parts, his all new. If there's anything that he is using, I can't tell. Maybe he's using legs from an Imperial officer or something like that. But either way, it looks like Count Dooku, and the portrait is awesome. Accessories are nice. I have to give him a 10. It's his first time in the line. I can't give him less than a 10. This is a 10. This is probably going to be something that I'm going to look back on in December and think this is one of my favorite things I bought this year. So, absolutely. A 10 for old Darth Tyrannus. So that'll do it for this one. I know this is kind of a quick hit. I didn't do any comparisons, but coming soon, we have someone that Darth Tyrannus recruited on the moon of Bogdan. So you'll be seeing them again soon anyway. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. If you're into Star Wars, are you happy to finally get Count Dooku in the line? What do you think of him? Did you pass him? Did you skip him? Did you find him? I really feel like I got lucky and found him. Let's talk about it. Till next time, see you all on the next video. Everybody stay safe. Peace.
The way I got it figured.